Hey, what's up everybody? It's Trent with Bully Barn. Today we're gonna do some breeding breakdown. I've had a lot of people ask how we make our pigs, why we pair certain pairings that we do together. Quit chewing on that stick. You wanna come here? Come here. Come here. Here, let Jagger up here. Come here, Jag. Come here. Get it. Good boy. Good boy. I know. Quit messing with the water. All right, come here. You want some more 11s? Come here. Okay, guys. Breeding breakdown, why we pair the dogs that we do together. We're gonna show you guys some results of that as well. I want you guys to check out Armada. She's super sweet. This is one of our girls from Spain. She's like 14 inches tall. She's just a little monster. I know, big girl. Yeah, you cute, huh? Yes. Come over here and get a little pretty video of her face. Big girl. Armados, yes. Sweet girls, yes you are. Super stoked to breed her too, guys. I know, you little thick thing, ain't you? She's like every bit of 14 inches, if that. Short. Super thick, huh? Super thick girl. Anyway, guys, let's talk about this. Come here, I'll love on you while I talk, all right? So, why we do the pairings that we do and, you know, how we make our picks. I'm gonna blend all that stuff together kind of for you guys and explain some things. And we're gonna refer to a few breedings that we've done in the past probably and some here recently. We'll start off with the breeding with Twix and Pompei. That's what we're gonna start off with, guys. Most of those pups have a lot of improvement from Pompei. We're gonna show you guys a picture of Pompei whenever she was a puppy. She looked pretty solid, just a little smaller in the head, a little smaller bone, which she did grow into a very nice female. We'll show a recent picture of her as well. She's a little bull. And what I love about her, and when you're doing breedings, you have to have things you love about the dogs. That's important. If you don't have things that you love about the dog, then there's no reason to breed the dog. We want quality here. That's what we're after. So if you look at her daddy, what? If you look at Pompei's daddy, it's 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂💂. She's literally a spitting image of 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒂💂, just in a female form. A little bit shorter. She's about the same height as her, right at about 14 inches tall. Great bone. She's got those golden child and 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 fronts because that's in the top side of her pedigree. She's got those amazing fronts and super boned up. All right, big rib cage, big, thick, muscled up neck, crazy top skull, crazy cheeks, really short muzzle. Those are some of the things that we're looking for when we're trying to pair the dogs together. Okay, so with Twix, he's more of a well-rounded, like good mover, kind of finished product style dog. When we use Twix, we want to make sure that we throw him to a bulldoggy female. Can't tell you guys this enough, and I mean a clean version. So find a female that has a lot of bulldoggy traits, but she's a clean version of that, all right? Not, you know, exotic, sloppy, messed up elbows, messed up feet, and all that. Look at her. Hey. Hey, bring me that stick. Anyway, guys, so back to Pompei, okay? She looks a lot like her daddy. I love 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂's look. Yes, there's plenty of things I would fix about him. The rear, the back, you know, the upper arm, stuff like that, okay? That's what we did with this breeding right here, guys. So we implemented Twix, which the top side of his pedigree is Grand Champion Buckus and heavy lounge blood. So Twix's pedigree is Grand Champion Buckus on top and inbred Grand Champion Samson on bottom. Spirit is Twix's mom. That is Golden Bear's littermate sister. Okay, inbred Grand Champion Samson. We have a lot of phenomenal product off those inbreedings that we'll actually talk about here in a little bit as well, probably. Buckus comes off of Grand Champion Rocco, bred to a real heavy Midwest Monsters lounge female. Okay, that's what created Buckus. Buckus bred to the inbred Grand Champion Samson daughter Spirit. That's what created Twix. He is a phenomenal product and he's producing real nicely, which we figured he would. We took Twix, we looked at some things in his pedigree that we felt with being heavy Samson, a little bit flatter top skull, a little bit snippier muzzle, a little bit longer back, a little bit more narrow, kind of weaker rear. That's what a lot of that stuff throws. It's heavy Samson or just heavy Dax in general. Throws a lot of those things. So what did we do? We fixed it. We used Buckus. Phenomenal rear, monstrous rib cage, a lot of bone, great top skull, a real good aggressive stop from the side. Those are the things that we're looking at. That's why we implemented Buckus. That's why we bred him to Spirit to get Twix. Now using Twix, we have to be aware of those things back in the pedigree. So we're trying to still improve, but we don't want to miss out on anything. So that's exactly what we did with Pompei. Pompei has the cheeks. She's got a little bit of the shoulder back. She's got a big rib cage, but so does Twix. Twix has a monstrous rib cage and a super square, thick rear. She's got a nice square rear as well. So all those things come into play while making a pick as well. We're gonna show you guys some of these pups off this litter. Crazy bone, way more improvement than, like, every generation should improve. You should get better, you know, on things. And that's where all this is gonna come into play. So when you look at Pompei, when she was a pup, now you check out these pups. Check out all of them. We'll just post side stack pictures and videos holding them and stuff. The bone is crazy on these pups. The rib cage is crazy. It's even more improved. The rears are a little bit more well angulated in the rear. Front shoulder sets are a huge improvement. Upper arm is a big improvement. The body itself, the headpiece is a massive improvement. That's what we got, all those things. So basically we mixed Twix's beautiful look with Rocco and Lounge and inbred grand champion Samson. We have his beautiful look. Twix, let's talk about him for a second. His muzzle is super wide. He's got a pretty decent stop, but we know back in the pedigree that that's not necessarily prominent, right? So that's where Pompei comes into play. But talking about Twix's headpiece, crazy width, good depth of the muzzle, beautiful cheeks, and a really overall good size. The headpiece is not just about size, guys. It's a lot about shape. Okay? And that's what we did with Pompei, was we made sure that we weren't gonna go backwards 2 steps with this breeding. So when we check out the improvement on it, we're gonna show you guys the pups. You're gonna see the improvement compared to Pompei whenever she was a pup. And if we could throw some on Twix as well, we'll throw some on some of him in here as well. Even as a pup, you can see that Twix was, even though he's developed very nicely, and that's another thing we'll talk about in a minute, but he's developed very nicely. But when he was a pup, a little bit of a longer muzzle, not as good of a top skull as we wanted, but he obviously has matured into a beautiful, mature, nice stud, and he's producing very well. We're excited about that. But when we're making our pick, we're looking at all these dogs. I would be happy with any of these dogs off this litter because every single one of them is an improvement, and that's the goal when breeding, is to have a consistently improved dog. So I can pick, basically what I'm saying is, I could pick any puppy off that litter and it's going to be an improvement of the mother or the father, hopefully both, right? So I can take any of the pups off this litter, and when I use them in the future, I'm going to outproduce Twix, I'm going to outproduce Pompei, and we've done that. And I'll show you guys with the male keeper that we have, Bully Barnes Brick House, off this litter. He's an absolute monster. One of the most extreme pups we've produced so far. Definitely Twix's most extreme. But Twix has been throwing it down and producing greatly. So that's one breeding that we're going to talk about. But like I said, guys, the goal, of course, I'm going to pick the best dog. But what I'm saying is I could use any of these dogs and still move forward, progress, and outproduce Twix and Pompei both. Hopefully, outproduce every single one of them as well. That's the goal of a breeder. And that's what our mindset is every time we put these dogs together and we pair these dogs together. So that's one breeding. Next, we're going to talk about Venar and Twix. That's what Jagger is off of. All right, those puppies, I think 3 or 4 times Grim, very heavy pedigree. But Venar looks like Grim. She's like a lilac version of Grim. She's a very bully female, beautiful female. Twix, you guys have seen him. We've just talked about him on this last one and what he's about, right? So we did the same thing there. We used the female that had a lot of heavy bulldog traits. She has beautiful, great fronts, solid bone, solid body, solid short back on her, good top skull. There are a few areas that we wanted to improve on as far as like the bite and stuff. Even with Pompei, we wanted to improve the bite a little bit, and we did that. Also, the same thing with Twix and Venar's litter. Like, we got good bites. And I'm going to show you guys Jagger here in a second. He's the prime example of, you know, outproducing Twix. That's what he is. We outproduced Twix already. Even though he's 6 months old, guys, you can see the potential. Like, Twix did not look like this at 6 months old. And a lot of people are not going to show you the dogs in these stages just because they don't tend to mature. When they hit like sexual maturity, when they can actually breed, that's whenever they really start like maturing. The head shape, the muscle, the overall muscle mass on the body is just not quite there at 6 months. But usually from 6 to 12 months is when they develop the most. Even now he's in his lanky stage. But guys, The boy's phenomenal. And the same thing with this breeding. I made a great pick on the litter, for sure. But I could have took any of these dogs off that litter and they would have been an improvement. So that's what the goal is, and that's why we paired the breeding together. So I know how Twix, and then now I know how Twix is producing. So now I know how, if I can improve where he lacks, and I can pair him with females that are gonna help produce something better, now this product I can do the same thing with, and I kind of have an idea of like, hey, I know what Twix produced, I know what created Twix. So that's gonna help me a lot. When you're dealing with stuff that you don't know, it is a little bit more difficult. But as you're developing your bloodline, you're gonna understand these things and you're gonna know how these dogs produce, what they produce a lot of. Because there's dogs out there that have beautiful fronts, but they don't produce it. There's dogs out there that have a lot of size, but they don't produce it. There's dogs out there that have great head pieces, but they don't produce it. That's what we're talking about here. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick. I'll get my chain out. Jagger, don't you run away from me, boy. Come here. Come here, big boy. Gotcha.
Armada.
Okay, so first, I'm gonna side stack him real quick for you guys to check him out. Okay, like I said, guys, he's only 6 months old. I know. Come here.
She snatched your water.
Little brat. But this boy is phenomenal. Super, super clean. Maturing very nicely. He has a beautiful front shoulder set, okay? Good upper arm, nice turn in the rear. He's looking phenomenal, guys. We're super stoked about him. But I'm gonna also show you guys a little front stack on him. Come here. You're all right. We're gonna show him what you're all about, okay? And like I said, guys, he's only 6 months old. You know, you can't expect these dogs to be 100 pounds, massive at 6 months old, okay? But he's phenomenal. I don't know how he stacked up on the bucket or the box for you guys, but check him out. Get those little ears to perk. Go get it. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. But yeah, guys, that's what I'm talking about. Like, his body, it's there. Short back, there. The rear's there. The headpiece is there. We got color. Turn around and look at him right now. I mean, look at that boy. Beautiful. Good boy. And that's the thing, like, most people are not going to show you this. Most show dogs don't have top lines like this boy. A lot of times they'll have to squat the dog. Okay? You don't have to do that. And we're improving with every generation, guys. Good. Good boy. Now just get that tail out. There you go. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to bring him out and show you guys. We'll be in Jacksonville with Jagger, but the boy's a beast. He's beautiful. Reminds me a lot of Golden Bear. His neck is coming in real nicely. His head's coming in real nicely, guys. I'll sit down for a minute. But I mean, he has a beautiful sister too off that litter that we're gonna have a pup back coming on. And we do a lot of pup backs too, because that helps us progress and move forward with our bloodline. And she's nice. I mean, I could have kept her. I could have kept his, he has several brothers that are super nice that I could have kept and did the same thing with. But like I said, guys, my goal obviously is to keep the best dog off every litter that's gonna help me move forward. That's the goal when we do these pairings and we put these dogs together. So what I'm trying to say is we're not building a pedigree just based off of hype. A lot of breeders, they're just in it for the money. Yes, you have to have money to do what we do. Yes, these dogs cost money. They cost a lot of money to do what we do and pair these dogs up and do these breedings. PG testing, surgical, stud fees, C-sections and all that stuff. We have to have money to do what we do. But a lot of people are just in it just for the money. They're just breeding hype dog, the hype dog. That's not creating a better dog. At the end of the day, yeah, some hype dogs, I mean, there's a reason there's hype behind some of them because they produce some substance and stuff like that. But if you're not paying attention to the whole entire dog, you're not bettering anything. You can breed gorilla to gorilla all day long, and yeah, you can get a bunch of gorillas, but how's the upper arm? You know, how's the shoulder lay back? How long is the dog? Because a lot of really extreme dogs are just limousines, you know, super, super long. It's important to have all these things, guys. You got to pay attention to everything when breeding, because years down the road, don't you want to have a better product? That's what I'm talking about, guys. Another thing, guys, is it's super important to pick the best dog off your litter, because who can promote that dog and show what you can produce better than you? That's how I feel. I have a platform to post on. Like, I have a following, so I get to show people the next generation, the improvements that we're making. Like, those are important. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not going to give someone else the chance to take my product, my best product. Not that I couldn't build off all the other dogs, but my goal as a breeder is to keep the best product, present it to the public, present it to the community, show everybody what it's about, prove that it can produce, and that's exactly what we're doing. That's the goal here, guys. So we showed you at least 2 litters right there that we made picks on and we made improvements on. We'll probably dive pretty deep into some other litters that are coming up in the future and kind of explain the same thing to you guys. But for instance, they're not dropped yet, but she's definitely looking loaded with golden bear pups. We're going to talk about Rubia for a second. This girl is from Spain, and she's a monster. Beautiful girl. She literally looks like litter mates with golden bear. Like, she has that Samson look. But the best thing about it is, guys, y'all know golden bear is inbred grand champion Samson, so he's statistically 75% grand champion Samson. So obviously we don't want to breed him back to something that's heavy Samson or has Samson right up close up front. For one, we want to make improvements. 2, we want some genetic diversity. You know, we want that gene pool to liven up a little bit, give us a little bit of gasoline so we can produce and outcross. That's the goal. So having a female that has a lot of his same exact features and same exact traits, but completely non-related. She doesn't have no Rocco, no Grim, no Louis V, no muscle tone, none of that. All this stuff is from Spain, and she is heavily bred, and she has a lot of heavy bulldog influence in the pedigree. So we're excited about it. She's a monster. She has a beautiful head, beautiful body, beautiful fronts, nice bone. Also found some old videos of golden bear that we're going to post up. You guys kind of see a front stack slow motion video on him when he was about probably 10 and a half months old or so. But you'll be able to compare those 2, guys. But like I said, they both look a lot alike, so we're going to nail a lot of those same exact features, the same exact traits that we're looking for without having to breed tight to get it. So it's going to be a hell of an outcross. They should be dropping here in about 30 days. And when we make picks on that litter, I'm going to be showing you guys that litter. But whenever we make picks, I'm going to show you guys exactly why I made the pick that I did, so you guys can kind of get deeper into what we're doing here at Bully Barn and kind of how we do things. So Rubia even resembles a lot of golden bear's litter mates as well. You got Frost, Josh, one of the boys from UK, I cannot quite remember his name, but we're going to post up some of them for you guys to see how closely they all resemble each other, even compared, like I said, you got golden bear and then all of his brothers, how close they look just like Rubia. So we're super stoked about that breeding as well, guys. We do have 2 females available off Twix and Pompei. It was a huge female litter. But we have 2 females available on that one. If you guys are interested, hit the inbox, let us know. Also, guys, we have a huge announcement to make. I'm just going to give you a sneak peek of this 9-month-old boy named Triton coming from Spain. He's something that we're implementing in our program to add a ton of bone, a lot of substance. We're super stoked. The boy has a dope headpiece, and he's only 9 months old in this picture. But we're super excited to show you guys. We're going to be bringing him out and busting him out probably in March when we go to the Jacksonville show with Jagger. And we have another huge surprise that's even more extreme than him coming up soon, guys. These are going to be the boys that we're probably going to be breeding to a lot of these pup back deals that you guys purchase from us. So when you purchase a female, we're going to be using our studs that we think are going to complement them the best. And that's going to be these boys, because all these girls are structurally pretty sound. And we're looking forward to pairing up some of these monsters to create next level American bullies. All right, guys, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at bully.barn.b. Follow us on Facebook at Bully Barn. And feel free to text or call. My number is 405-568-6846. You guys have a good one.